Amboseli is 392 square kilometers in size. Here, Mount Kilimanjaro rises to 5,800 meters into the sky. Though standing across the border in Tanzania, it dominates the skyline like a sentinel watching over the plains. In the early morning light, when its summit peaks above the clouds, it creates one of the most unforgettable scenes on the African continent. The mountain seems to float above the earth, snow-covered, silent, and eternal, its presence casting a gentle majesty over the land below. But it is what unfolds beneath the snow-capped crown that gives Amboseli its heartbeat. This land is alive. The park is home to an incredible diversity of wildlife that move through the open grasslands, woodlands, and marshes. With its relatively small size, Amboseli offers one of the most accessible and concentrated wildlife viewing experiences in all of Africa. Let your eyes scan the horizon. You'll spot herds of zebra, their black and white stripes blending into the tall grasses, and grazing wildebeest, often seen in motion, following ancient instincts that guide their movements across the plains. Gazelles dart with delicate speed and grace, always alert to the shadows in the grass. Impalas with their lyre-shaped horns and sleek forms graze in groups, ever poised to flee at the first sign of danger. Among them, towering figures roam, giraffes moving with slow elegance as they feed from the acacia canopies. Their long necks sway above the scrub, their eyes surveying the land with quiet curiosity. Down in the wetlands, the air changes, the ground is lush, fed by underground springs from the glaciers of Kilimanjaro. These swampy havens are crucial oases, drawing wildlife during the dry season. Here, you will see hippopotamuses wallowing in the cool shallows, submerged but always watching. Along the muddy banks, Cape buffaloes gather in large numbers, sometimes locked in silent stares with the occasional pride of lions resting in the shade. The predators of Amboseli are as captivating as their prey. Lions, though not in large numbers, are still kings of this domain. Watch long enough and you may witness a pride stirred to life at dusk, their golden coats blending with the land as they prepare to hunt. Amboseli is a haven for over 400 species of birds. From the dramatic swoop of a martial eagle to the colorful flutter of bee-eaters, the air hums with avian life. In the wetlands you will find sacred ibis, egrets, herons, and the iconic African fish eagle, its call echoing across the reeds. The plumage of the lilac-breasted roller, Kenya's national bird, flashes like a jewel against the pale blue sky. One of the park's most captivating scenes is the congregation of flamingos that sometimes grace the seasonal Lake Amboseli. Then there are lesser known mammals like the lesser kudu. To stand in Amboseli is to be part of a living, breathing story, one told not in words but in footfalls across dust, in calls that echo across the plains, in the silent gaze of wild eyes meeting yours. This is not just a park. This is Amboseli.
So we're approaching Amboseli now, and we just got our first view of Mount Kilimanjaro over there. We see a lot of clouds covering it, but we're hoping that the clouds will clear up soon and we'll get to see more of it sometime soon.
So we just checked into Kilima Safari Camp and we have come up to the observation tower. It's 6:30, the sun is setting on my right and I wanted to get a first glimpse of the Kilimanjaro. That's why I came up here as soon as I checked in. And as you can see, the clouds are slowly clearing away and I'm taking a time-lapse movie. So hopefully these shots will come out good and we can show you some great shots of the Kilimanjaro in a few seconds. So let me now give you all a quick tour of this tent enclosure at Kilima Safari Lodge. Huge tent, guys. Each of the tents are separated by about at least 10 meters of space, and all those 10 meters are all forested, which means if you come and sit here in the balcony, you are actually looking at the forest, and it does look a little dangerous at this time of the night. So this is a huge big room, quite a big room, and it has a single bed and a double bed. As you can all see, it's all tent material, all the walls, and there is some wooden beams which is holding on the tent. And a lot of room here to keep all your bags, quite a big room, and there is a nice desk over here in case you want to do some writing or studying. And then there is this area where you have a nice closet, so you can keep your stuff inside the closet. And then here there is the huge bathroom, very huge bathroom, and with a his and a hers vanity over here. Some water bottles, okay, and the coffee maker is over here. That is the WC, and a nice shower area. So that is what the room looks like. Definitely looks like a well designed hotel. National Park, and we came here on a full day game drive. Came into the gates at about 8 a.m. in the morning, and since then we have been just driving along this main spine road that leads straight into Kilimanjaro. But this morning it's been a lot cloudy, and we are not able to spot the Kilimanjaro from here. You have to be really lucky because the mountain only appears for 5 minutes in a span of about 3 hours. So that's the reason it's a good idea to spend multiple days in this park so that you can get some shots of the Kilimanjaro whenever it appears. One of the most iconic shots that you see usually of Amboseli is the mountains, and in the front some elephants are roaming around. So that is the most iconic shot that I also intend to click if the weather permits and the mountain makes its appearance from behind the clouds, and there are some elephants in the front. That would be great. So Amboseli National Park, it's a little, the terrain appears to be more dry, and also a lot of dust floating around. I will tell you a little bit more about ecological significance of this park a little later. So rules and regulations visiting the Mara. This would be a very popular question, I guess, from all the people. One of the things that I think we should observe is you should wear neutral colored clothes, very bright red, bright yellow clothes, supposed to scare the animals and make them very uncomfortable. So neutral colored clothes is the first thing. Second thing is, as you see, there are roads inside the Mara, and you're not supposed to go off-roading. The rule is, if you see one of the big five, then you can do a little bit of off-roading and maintain distance from the big five, but then get back into the road. You cannot do too much of off-roading inside the Mara, which is not allowed, but some people do it, and if they get caught, there is a steep fine. So the third thing is that you're not supposed to step out of the vehicle, stay inside the vehicle at all times. That is quite an obvious thing because it's quite a dangerous place, and anything can happen at any time. So if there is an emergency, usually the guide comes out, gets out, and during the bush lunch, during the full day game drive, when you take the bush lunch, they usually stop under a tree, acacia tree or something, and then make sure that there are no leopards there, and then that is where you stop and have the lunch. And there are some bathrooms here and there in the park. They are not at very close distance, but they are there, and they are quite neat and clean, and we visited a few, and we were very satisfied with those kind of facilities provided inside the park as well.
In the southern reaches of Kenya, just below the snow-capped slopes of Mount Kilimanjaro, lies one of Africa's most remarkable ecosystems, Amboseli National Park. Here, every morning, a great movement begins. It's not a migration of thousands, but a quieter, more deliberate journey. The elephants of Amboseli rise with the sun and set out on a path they've walked for generations. They leave the dry woodlands and head towards the green swamps. These swamps, fed by underground water from Kilimanjaro's glaciers, are hidden lifelines in an otherwise arid landscape. Every drop matters here, and the elephants know exactly where to find it. Guided by memory and matriarchal wisdom, family groups, usually led by an older female, walk across the dusty plains in search of water and food. These journeys can stretch for 10 to 15 kilometers in a day, but they are not random. The same path is used year after year, generation after generation. The matriarch plays a central role in this journey. She is often decades old and carries with her the knowledge of past droughts, safe routes, and hidden dangers. Her decisions, when to move, where to rest, how to respond to threats, can determine the survival of the whole family. And what a family it is! Elephants are deeply social. A typical family group includes mothers, sisters, aunts, and calves, tightly bonded and emotionally connected. When a calf is born, it becomes the center of the herd's attention. It's protected, touched, guided, and even disciplined by multiple members, not just the mother. Newborn calves are fragile, often unable to walk properly for the first few hours. But with help, they learn quickly. They suckle for up to 2 years and stay close to their mothers for much longer. If a mother dies, other females will often adopt the orphaned calf. This level of care isn't just instinct, it's emotional. Elephants show joy, empathy, and even grief. They've been observed mourning their dead, revisiting bones, and standing in silence over fallen companions. As they travel through Amboseli, elephants feed constantly. An adult can consume over 150 kilograms of food in a single day. Their diet includes grasses, roots, bark, fruit, and leaves. The swamps offer soft green grass rich in moisture, while trees like the acacia provide roughage and nutrients in the dry season. This constant foraging shapes the landscape. Elephants knock over trees, strip bark, and dig for roots. It may look destructive, but in fact it creates habitats for other species, opening up woodlands, helping grass to grow, and even digging water holes that benefit smaller animals. As they age, elephants begin to slow down. Their teeth wear out over the time. Most elephants go through 6 sets of molars in their lifetime. Once the final set wears down, usually in their 50s or 60s, they can no longer chew tough food. In the wild, this can eventually lead to their death, not through disease or predation, but through starvation. And yet, old elephants still play a vital role. The oldest females often hold the collective memory of the herd. They remember distant water sources, ancient migration routes, and how to respond to predators like lions or humans. Without this knowledge, herds are more vulnerable. Males, on the other hand, leave the family unit when they reach adolescence. They live alone or form loose associations with other males. Some become dominant bulls, strong, confident, and occasionally aggressive. In Amboseli, some elephants live well into their 60s. And thanks to decades of scientific research, many of them are known by name. Researchers have followed entire family trees, watching calves grow up to become mothers, observing how elephants react to birth, death, drought, and change. That knowledge has taught us something extraordinary. Elephants are not just animals of the wild, they are thinking, feeling, remembering beings capable of love, loyalty, curiosity, and sorrow. Each day, their journey from woodland to swamp and back again is not just a search for water or food, it's a way of life, a rhythm passed down through the generations, a story written in footprints, dust, and memory. The elephants of Amboseli remind us that the wild is not chaotic, it's deeply ordered. That survival is not just about strength, but about wisdom, family, and connection. And in a world that often forgets the old ways, they continue to walk the ancient paths, slowly, silently, and with purpose.
So let's go on a quick tour of the Kilima Safari Lodge property. We'll just walk around and see where it leads.
I've been hearing some grunting noises outside the room. Like, I don't know what they are. I've not been able to sleep for the last 15 minutes.
Okay, let's go take a look. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Let's come. Let's go check it out. We can. Do you see something over there? See those glittering eyes? Maybe it's just a deer or a water buck or something. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. We couldn't locate what animal it was. But when you stay in a place like this, in the middle of the bushes, I think any animal can show up. Better not to venture out in the night all by yourself. Call the guard if you have to go in the dark to the reception or step outside the room.
It can be a bit scary to stay in places like this where you are in the middle of a forest. Even though there are quite a few cottages like this built at a distance of about 30-40 meters. So yesterday night we were hearing all sorts of noises in the night. We were unsure what it was, so we went out to check it out, and we couldn't find anything in the night. But any case, I think it is best to stay indoors after dark. And if you have to step out, what they say is you have to call the guards. So they'll come here and escort you and take you to wherever you want to go. One more zebra there. Oh my goodness. What a sight. Early in the morning at 6:20 a.m., two zebras have come into the hotel from the jungles. What a sight. Wow. And that guy is looking straight here at me, trying to see what I'm trying to do. Maybe it's the zebras that we were hearing in the night. Maybe. Good morning, and we are at the restaurant at Kilima, and it's breakfast time. So I just wanted to show you all what they have for breakfast, what kind of options you have. So orange juice and cheese and some fruits, and they have some bread, different varieties of bread. Omelette. So I'll have a 3-egg white omelette with vegetables, everything, including chilies. And they have dosa. Okay, I'll have one dosa. So they have some baked beans. Then this one looks excellent. Stir fried mushrooms. And I think you can have it with the eggs. And some French toast. So a lot of options for vegetarians. Vegetarians will have a field day here in Africa. There is no issues at all, and they have Indian food. Oh, look at this. There is poha here. Kaju poha. I am used to aloo poha, but here they have kaju poha. And then they have pancake and egg curry. Egg curry. So yeah, so and they have a few more things here, and almost all the hotels that we have been having lunch and dinner at, they have Indian options. So the dosa is perfect, okay, and the sambar does not taste like sambar. There's some pepper and it's like pepper rasam actually, and very little salt in the chutney. But other than that, it's quite delicious. Very good. So in Amboseli, it's not very common to see lions, but we just came to this spot in between these two sets of trees. Right in the open are two male lions sitting over there and looking straight at us. Wow. getting some beautiful shots of the hippo that is near that swamp over there. And right next to the hippo on the right, you can see the observation hill, one of the most significant landmarks in Amboseli. So we have come here to the observation hill on the second game drive, on the second full day game drive at Amboseli. This is where usually people have their lunch. So we bought a boxed lunch, and this is the observation point at the observation hill. And from here, you can get a full 360-degree view of Amboseli. And all 360 degrees you see the horizon. So that is something unique about this place. You don't see the horizon usually in the urban cities and all that. And I have set up a time-lapse video over here, time-lapse movie, so that I can shoot the planes from here. So what they give here is a sandwich, a vegetable sandwich, some fruit juice drink, as well as some Chinese noodles. So that's pretty much it for lunch, which take place at about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And then at 7:30 we usually have our dinner. So this is the place we have the box lunch, or the bush lunch as they call it in Africa. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you some spectacular photographs I shot at this location at Amboseli. And finally guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do like this video and subscribe and share it with your friends so that we can make more content like this.